I asked the 5 most successful dentists in LA if I could just come in and shadow. But I didn't shadow like most people shadow. Like I didn't just go in and watch them do the dentistry and say thank you and go home.
So Dr. Bill, I mean, your resume is just incredible. If I want to just say everything that you have achieved, we'll be here for a whole hour, and I still think I wouldn't be done. You know, you've been called the Michael Jordan of dentistry. You've been on Oprah. You work with an A-list celebrities. You can name a few if you want to, but I mean, the who of the of entertainment business you work with. You know, you're 61 years old. You know, you're in the best shape of your life. You just got done featured on a GQ magazine, and you have, you know, your foundation, and you give so much back. But let's first talk about how did you get into dentistry, and how did you grow your business to like $1.2 billion, you know, so far. I mean, how do you, I'm sure it wasn't a straight line. You had your ups and downs. I want to talk about the ups and downs, because when I'm looking at you from outside in, all I see is up, brother. All I see is up. I don't see any struggles, but I'm sure there are those who struggles and trials and tribulations that you have to go through to build a business like that.
Well, first of all, my dental practice and my business are 2 separate things. You know, I went to dental school to learn how to be a dentist. They didn't teach me business in dental school. So when I got out of dental school, I did what we teach at LEAP, and we'll get into LEAP in a little bit, but LEAP is a motivational leadership program that we do for high school and college students, age 15 to 25 plus. We do it at UCLA every year. We get about 400 amazing kids. And it's a program that teaches kids the skills to be successful in life. We say it gives them a 7-year head start on life, and it does. And you know, this summer, obviously because of COVID, it's not going to be in person. It will be a virtual meeting, but we're still going to do it. And if you want information, if you have sons or daughters or no kids in that age range, please go to our website. It's www.leapfoundation.com. And one of the things we teach at LEAP is ask. Because, you know, kids are so lost sometimes, and all they need to do is ask a mentor. And that's probably one of the strongest and fastest ways to be successful. So, you know, I graduated dental school. I come to Beverly Hills. They didn't need another cosmetic dentist. No way. What'd I do? I asked the 5 most successful dentists in LA if I could just come in and shadow. But I didn't shadow like most people shadow. Like I didn't just go in and watch them do the dentistry and say thank you and go home. I watched the whole thing. I watched how the patient walked in the door, the intake forms, how they treated that patient, how they brought the patient to the chair, how they discussed the treatment, how they discussed the fees, how they got the patient to commit to the fees, then how the dentist actually performed the treatment, and then how the patient left the office, how they paid their bill, how they set up their next visit. Like I did everything A to Z.
So you were,
and I took copious notes.
You just went all in and you became a learning machine. You became a...
Exactly. And I took copious notes, and then I took all the great stuff that these successful dentists were doing and put it all in one practice. And guess what happened, Sam? Within 2 years, my practice was 10 times more successful than all of theirs, because I watched mentors. You don't have to reinvent a wheel. There are people out there doing what you want to do. Just do it better, right? So that's kind of how I started my dental practice. Then right around 1988, 89, tooth whitening started. And the first kits were pretty crude. They came in plastic bags. It wasn't an appealing thing. I don't know if you remember, but before we had Xerox machines, they used to do a mimeograph. Do you remember that? It was that.
Right.
Probably you're not even old enough. It was like this flimsy, cheap paper, and the writing on it was like bluish, and it disappeared after like a month. And I mean, it was a bad presentation. So I called the company, the leading company. I said, hey, listen, I think this should be more like a cosmetic. Like, like you go to Nordstrom's or you go to Saks and you see the way things come. I said, I'll help you develop it. I didn't even want money. And they're like, yeah, you're 28 and you're telling us what to do. Goodbye. So you know what? It's crazy. Every time in my life that I philanthropically committed to helping raise money for charity, I ended up making a lot of money. It's just a crazy thing. Okay. So I'm at the gym where I always am. A woman comes up to me and says, "Hey, Dr. Bill." She said, "Would you like to help raise money for children's cancer research?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She goes, "You are a dentist, correct?" I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "And you're single, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What's the connection?" She goes, "Well, we have 1,000 women coming to a bachelor auction next week, and I need 10 men to sell." I'm like, "I'll do it," right? Honestly, the bachelor auction was stupid. But what wasn't stupid was the man next to me was Robert Heyman. And Robert Heyman is the son of Fred Heyman. And Fred Heyman created Beverly Hills. Robert had an MBA. He had a background in cosmetics. He had a background in manufacturing and sales. We became best buddies. We're still best friends, life best friends. And Robert and I started Discus Dental. And we did all the things that I told this other company to do, but better. And within a few years, we were the leading whitening company in the world. And we grew that business, Discus Dental, from zero to over $1.3 billion in sales before we sold it to Philips in a strategic sale in 2010. So, our goal at Discus was not to make the best products out there. A lot of companies have that goal. Our goal was to make category killers. If I put a product on the market, I wanted that to be so good that every other product disappeared. And we did it. I mean, and when Zoom got to be so big that our only competition was Bright Smile, you know what we did, Sam? We bought Bright Smile.
Wow.
So we owned all the IP and every light and machine in the world for in-office light-activated tooth whitening. And the value of our company skyrocketed. And then we sold it in 2010.
Wow. Wow. What a great. So it all came down for you to doing something good for the community. You put yourself in a position to meet other people who are philanthropists, who are, business minded. And that connection made what was a $1.3 billion business. Wow. Have you not been, "Oh, well, what are you talking about? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that." Have you not accepted that you didn't want to raise, money for a charity? Have you not went to the bachelor auction? That would have never been. Do you agree?
But you know what? This is a record that kept repeating itself over and over and over in my life. 20 years ago, Robert and I got a phone call from a group of dentists called the Crown Council of Dentists. They said, "Doc, we want to do a fundraiser. What we want to do is we had Garth Brooks, the country singer, on board. We want to put out public service announcements with you and Garth Brooks," because at the time I was on an ABC show, Extreme Makeover, telling people to go to dental offices and get their teeth whitened. And instead of writing a check to the dentist, you write a check to Smiles for Life. So can we buy your whitening product at cost? So we listened to their proposal. We said, "We'll call you back in a few minutes." Robert and I talked. I called him back in 15 minutes and I said, "Absolutely not. We'll give it to you." They said, "What?"
What?
Give it to you. "We like this. We'll give it to you." To date, with the PSAs that Garth and I did and all these dentists in the Crown Council, we have raised $44 million for children's charities. $44 million. But Here's the part I didn't plan on. All of those dentists became our best customers. Like when we would rate our customers A, B, C, D, and F, every single man and woman who was a dentist in the Crown Council became our best customer. And, you know, our business exploded because of their generous support. They were so appreciative of us giving them this product so they could help raise money that they became like screaming loyal fans. And the sales of our company exploded, especially when I got on Extreme Makeover. We grew 2 million, 4 million, 8. We just kept growing and growing and growing. We hit this plateau at like 76 million, and we just couldn't get past that. There were competition, Crest White Strips, and all these OTC products. The year I was on Extreme Makeover in 2004, our sales jumped from 76 million to 101. The next year to 136. And the third year on the show, we hit almost $200 million in sales.
Wow. You know,
and you want to know something, Sam, that most people don't know? Of all the people on the show, the hairstylists, the plastic surgeons, the weight trainers, everybody got paid except the dentist. I didn't get paid 1 penny from ABC. Why? When we started the show, the first thing I did was 3 Zoom procedures. Well, I own the company. It didn't cost me anything. When ABC said, how much do we owe? I said, don't worry about it. It's great publicity. This was the birth of reality TV. Nobody knew how big this was going to be, right? I tell kids that go to LEAP, there will be life-defining moments in your life. And this was one of them. And my first patient, first season, needed 20 porcelain veneers, 10 uppers, 10 lowers. At the time, we were charging $1,500 a tooth. It's $30,000. So I sent an invoice to ABC, and they freaked out. They called me up. They're like, Doc, we had no idea that dentistry was this expensive. I said, well, it is. What do you want me to do? They said, well, if we go with our budget, can you just do 3 veneers? I'm like, what, like every other tooth? Like, no. And I made a life-defining moment. And I said the following: I'll do all your dentistry for free under the following conditions. Number 1, Zoom whitening gets highlighted in every episode. Fine. Number 2, I'm the only dentist. Why? Number 1, I didn't want them to get some schlocky guy on there and then people think I did a bad job. Number 2, if another dentist was on there and they didn't use Zoom, there would be 2 products. So this gave me protection. Number 3, you have to mention Da Vinci veneers in every episode. Why? I didn't want to have a $10,000 to $20,000 lab bill when I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
That show made me famous, Zoom famous, and Da Vinci veneers famous. That will never happen again. Reality TV is too smart today. They would never, ever, ever have agreed to all that. But you know what? It worked out for all of us.
You know, the theme that I see in your life is that you came and say, look, I'll give you something first. You know, not, hey, how much are you paying me? What do I get out of this? You know, you went into there with a real heart to serve, you know, and then when you serve other people, when you help other people, then God blessed you after and give you everything that you have. Well deserved.
You know, my philosophy in life has always been, he who gives receives the greatest gift. And I always operate from that standpoint. You know, I honestly wanted to help these people. The fact that all this other great stuff happened, that wasn't my plan. That wasn't my ulterior motive. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make, like, I just really wanted to help, you know? And it's crazy because every time I've been in a position like that where I was like, you know what? I really want to help here. Something amazing like that happens. You know, LEAP. Let's talk about LEAP for a second.
Yeah.
We are the only program in the world that teaches the things we teach. you can learn networking. I mean, you can learn time management, money management. Where are you going to learn appreciation? I don't know another program that teaches it. Kids today don't know how to appreciate things.
You know,
We teach appreciation. And the way we do it is by sharing stories, bringing great mentors. You know, I've had Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Hopkins, Kathy Bates, Paula Abdul, Usher. I mean, you name it, Michael Strahan, Apollo Ono, the most decorated Winter Olympian in history. I mean, I could go on and on and on. These people all come and speak at our program for free, for free. They don't ask for a penny. And, you know, the whole goal of LEAP is to give these kids the skills that they're going to need to be successful. So we have these notes. They're called I Appreciate notes. And they would start off, hey, Dr. Bill, you know, I appreciate you and the LEAP team for putting together this program. And out of the 400 kids that went to LEAP last year, I got 400 notes. And 99% of them said, Doc, LEAP changed my life.
what a great thing. I mean, geez, I mean, I wish my kids were that age, between 15 and 25. They will be soon. You know, we got 5 years for my oldest one. But tell me about the program a little bit. How many days is it? What is it?
Well, let me finish this because I was right in the middle of something. I told you 99% of the notes said LEAP saved my life. You know what the other 1% said, Sam?
I don't know.
Sorry, 99% said LEAP changed my life. 1% said LEAP saved my life.
Say, oh, wow.
And I know it did. These kids come in, they've got no support at home. They don't have friends. You know, one of the most important things that we do at LEAP is we give kids the support that they need to be successful. Listen, I have 3 daughters. If I tell my daughters to do something, they're not going to do it. Now, if you're an expert in a field and you tell them to do it, they might do it. But I'll tell you this, if 5 of their girlfriends tell them to do it, they're going to do it. That's what we do at LEAP. We put kids in a group with 10 other students their age who become their support structure. And after the week program is done, we're not done with those kids. We contact them for a full year afterwards, making sure we make them all leave with goals written down, making sure that they're doing the things that they say they're going to do.
Oh, good.
And it's a powerful, powerful program. And the thing I love most about LEAP is just watching these kids go out and blossom, you know? And I tell every single kid in the program, here's my cell phone. I don't care what time of day it is. I don't care where you are. If you need me, I'm here for you.
I mean, who does that? I mean, I don't know of any other.
Me.
No, I don't know of any other human being. I really don't know at your level of success. And, you know, let's face it. I mean, you know, you don't look it, but you are 61 years old. You know, most people at your level of success, being 61 years old, they're at the yacht somewhere smoking cigars and drinking martinis, and that's their retirement life. But no, you know, you are reaching out to kids. You're changing kids' life. You're giving them your cell phone number. You know, I mean, that's just crazy. It opens up my mind to a whole new level of thinking. You know, and I'm going to tell you this. You know, there's a guy who I admire a lot. You know, he's an entrepreneur, and you know, he's very successful, and you know, he's very successful. He's always been a mentor and things like that. But he's, you know, getting older. You know, he's getting older. He's like in his mid-50s, but he's so caught up in so many of his businesses that he's like always in the constant like level of going from here, going from here, going from here, going from here, going from here. And I don't see that peace in him. I don't see that, you know, I don't see that he's like genuinely helping people anymore, you know, or like giving his number to somebody that might need his help. You know, does that make sense? You know, and as much as I admire this guy for what he's achieved, I told myself, I don't want to be like that. you know, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that guy who is made hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet he's still like hustling so hard and still trying to make these businesses and trying to get there and all that kind of stuff. At a certain point in my life, you know, I want to be able to give back, be able to enjoy my life, be able to have my heart be fulfilled, you know, with joy, you know. And when I talk to you, you know, and I mean that, you know, it was sincerely, not because you're here on the show or that was. I'm like, man, this is more my style. This is more my something that I want to achieve. You achieve success, but you also have achieved fulfillment. See?
Yeah, and you know what, Sam? My feeling is if you leave this world without having made it better, shame on you. You know, and I don't expect everybody to go out and form a LEAP Foundation. And maybe people that are listening can afford to sponsor, you know, 20 kids to come to the program. But you know what? This year, the cost of LEAP is $449. Sponsor a kid. You know, go on our website, sponsor one kid, because we find amazing kids like the valedictorian of Compton High. 60% of the kids that come to our program come on scholarship. These are brilliant, brilliant kids that could never afford to go to a program. This year it's going to be virtual, so the cost is way less. We don't have to house them and feed them and all that. Normally it's 1 week where they live at UCLA. So you know what? If you have people listening here, there's three things that I would ask. Number one, if you have kids in that age range, go to our website and sign them up, www.leapfoundation.com. Number two, if you are a professional and you want to participate, we need you. We need mentors. Our program culminates on Friday with something called a mentor workshop. You're going to be in it, Sam, where we have professionals. Normally you would sit at a table with like 10 kids around you asking questions. We have the ability through Zoom to put you in chat rooms. So every 30 minutes we'll rotate and kids will just ask you. We'll give them your bio. They'll know who you are beforehand. So it's not like, who's the Sam guy? And they're going to ask you questions about how you started your business and how, you know, and how you were a professional athlete and all the things about you. They're going to know. They're going to ask you. That's the second way you can help. Number three, sponsor a kid or two or three. There's a young man that I literally helped become a dentist. And this was a guy who started off college and did all the wrong stuff. You know, he was partying, he was not taking it seriously, he was trying to make money, so he was working full time. I mean, he wasn't like a party animal, but he didn't get good grades. And when you apply to dental school, grades are important. I worked with my admissions committee at my dental school, and we got him in. He had to take a whole year of courses. He had to ace it. He did. He had to get his DAT scores, his dental admission test scores up. He did. He got in. He graduated. This young man is the most successful dentist I know today. He has been practicing 8 years. He has 30 practices in Texas. He and his practices all serve the community. They're pedo practices with kids. The government pays all the bills 100%. He serves an underserved community, but in a great way, a way they were never served before. His clinics are beautiful and colorful and clean and fun. They're not like dirty and run down. He created a niche. He has more five-star gold reviews on Google than Disneyland. I mean, that's how popular he is.
That is amazing.
And on my 60th birthday, he said, my present to you is I'm going to sponsor 60 kids every year going forward to LEAP. Now, at the time he did this, we were a live program. So that's $2,500 a kid. And he made that commitment and has stood by it. So I don't expect you guys to go form a foundation, all this, but you can be a part of mine. You can be, you know, a support of hours. And like I said, sponsor one kid. You know what? Sponsor a half a kid. Make a $200 donation, and I'll get more of those. I mean, that's how we change the world.
You say that, first of all, I want to thank you. I want to be a part of it for as long as you have me. I'll be a part of it every year.
Now you're on the list, Sam.
And also, one thing that I've done is every year I go back to my old high school in Sharon, Pennsylvania, which is a very, very blue collar, kind of lower to upper middle class, a lot of drugs and a lot of just, you're not around the right people in that area. And I give a $10,000 donation, $2,000, scholarships to people. Now I'm going to do one better. Matter of fact, after we hang up, I'm going to text the principal and I'm going to ask him, to sponsor some kids for the Leap Foundation. I'm going to do that today. So as soon as I'm done, principal. And when does it start? When does it start?
July 20th to 25th.
Of when?
July 20th to 25th. So it's in a few months.
July 20th.
This year, it will be July 20th to the 25th. It's a 5-day program. And in fact, as soon as we're done with this, I'm meeting with my LEAP team. We're developing content right now. And my goal, just like I did in my company, to create a category killer, my goal is to make a virtual program, motivational leadership program for high school and college kids that is so good that it becomes the gold standard for every other virtual program out there.
Well, I wish they had something like this when I was that age.
You want to know something crazy? Apollo Ono has won more gold medals in the Winter Olympics than any other Olympian in the world. He's going to speak again this year. He came and spoke the year that he won all of his medals. And he said to me, Doc, if I had had a program like this, I could have done so much more.
Yeah, I agree. Wow. I mean, this makes my heart happy. Doc, you just made my day. You really have made my day. For somebody who, like I said, who just done so much in his life. Now you're at the point in your life where you're just doing so much for, kids that are at a tender age where you can really, really, they can go one way or the other. They can be persuaded at that time to either take the wrong route or the right route, and give them all the right tools and everything that they need to be able to get there. And I'm going to tell you, man, it makes my heart happy to be even involved in any way to sponsor any kid to be able to go to this program. And I wish that they had this, forever. I know I can't wait till my kid turn 15, and we need more people like you in this world that are, that are grounded. They don't smoke their own exhaust, and they're just out there giving back to the world, and there's not too many people that I know that are like you that I know I met, and I truly am honored, I'm privileged to be in your presence and to be able to contribute in any way.
Well, I appreciate it and wholeheartedly accept your willingness to participate in our program. I can't wait to put you on stage virtually with my students and share your success story, because you're an amazing man as well. And it warms my heart to know that you are going to help us with our mission, just to make the world a better place and help these kids. Our future is in our kids. And for people that don't see that, shame on you.
100%. I agree. Doc, we got to do this again. I got to have you back on the show. You just blow my mind. You just blow my mind. You really do. You know what I mean? It's like I said, man, I haven't met another person like you, and I know so many people, so I appreciate you. I look forward to helping you any way I can. And there's anything I can ever do to help you, again, anything I can ever do is count on me. I'm going to be there. I love helping kids. I love being able to change people's lives. And you're doing that at such a massive level.
You know what would be amazing? You have, 120 locations now?
Yes.
If you get every one of your locations to sponsor one kid. That'd be amazing. You know, if every one of your locations, it's not that expensive this year. I mean, in the past, it was always $2,500. But if every one of your locations sponsored one kid this year, that would be phenomenal. So just get the message out to your people, because your people are like you, and they will care, and they do care. If you can get every one of your locations to sponsor one kid, home run, buddy, home run.
I will do. I will send them this video today. I will send it to all the franchisees. I will let them know, hey, watch this video, sponsor a kid, and kind of make a difference in this world.
And while we're on that, and as we're closing, I do want to say a few things. Number one, for LEAP, again, it's just www.leapfoundation.com. Number two, if you want to follow me and learn more about some of the stuff I do, just follow me on Instagram. I don't really do any other social media, but I'm pretty active on Instagram. I'm the only person I know on Instagram with almost 1 million followers where I personally answer all my DMs. So if you need to reach me, you can just reach me on Instagram. It's just DRBILLD, Dr. Bill Dorfman, DRBILLDORFMAN. That's my Instagram. And I promise if you DM me, I will answer. And finally, like you, I have my own podcast. It's called Meet the Mentor. And some of the interviews will blow your mind. I have, again, Anthony Hopkins, Eva Longoria, Mark Wahlberg, Kathy Bates. Just really, really strong, phenomenal, successful business people as well. And share it with your friends.
Doc, it was a pleasure, man. I'm going to have you back on the podcast because I really want to know, how do you look so good and so healthy at 61? Six-pack abs, like I said, it's crazy. But I do want to just pick your brains on that on a different time. God bless you. Thank you so much for being on the show. And we'll
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Hey guys, if you liked today's episode, do me a huge favor. Go and leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, leave me a review, and tag a few friends that you think can benefit from what we shared today. Really appreciate it. God bless.